I understand that it's interesting because it's to asylum seekers. We also ran an enormous enough campaign teaching men in the country about how their behaviours were could be perceived, whether that's stalking behaviours, harassment behaviours, harassment in public. That was to everybody in the country.
Jess Phillips doing what Jess Phillips does best, being a flaming hypocrite of the highest order. Calls herself a feminist, but as soon as you mention anything to do with rape and sexual assault by certain communities, she deflects.
We also have started a process of ensuring that boys and girls in schools undertake education around the expectations of happy, healthy relationships and actually the dangers of a lack of consent, for example. So this is just one example of a preventative measure. I understand people are interested because it's asylum seekers, but at the exact same time, the Home Office ran a multi-million pound scheme for men across the entirety of the country.
She is now trying to deflect away from the fact that the Home Office have released a pamphlet that informs migrants that rape is illegal in the UK and child abuse is illegal and harassment is illegal and all the rest of the things that they need to be told before they go out into our communities, and many of them commit horrible crimes. She's trying to deflect attention away from that and broaden the scope out to say that it's actually all men, all British men, everybody. It's all men, because I'm such a feminist. I just can't bring myself to accept that there's an overwhelmingly per capita massive disparity between rapes by native British people and rapes by people who aren't native British people.
Or men across the entirety of the country.
Yeah, I don't think people are just interested because it's asylum seekers. Obviously, as ever, that plays a role. But I mean, it's one thing to sort of inform men across the country to think better about their behaviour and so on. It's something else to hand out a leaflet that literally has to say rape is illegal, sex with children is illegal. You should know, isn't it?
Well, look, I mean, I haven't actually seen the documents that you're referring to.
I haven't actually seen the documents that you're referring to. I mean, everybody's seen the documents. Everybody. It's on the front page of all the newspapers. It's in the news. It's on social media. Everybody's seen it, Jess. Why haven't you seen it? Oh, you just don't want to look, do you?
But actually, it's as important. I used to run a project for sexual violence victims from Poland, for example, in the West Midlands. What we realised was that actually the language and the expectation of victims of those crimes was completely different. For example, they didn't have the same expectation of free services for victims. And so when there was a large Polish migration to our country, we did specific schemes to tell them about things that were expected in our country and things that people could access in our country.
She's actually mentioned a community. She's singled out a community here, the Poles, the Polish community. We had an influx of Polish migrants, 2004, was it? But Polish people are only white, so it doesn't matter, really. Fair game. But don't you dare single out asylum seekers or Pakistanis or Muslims. No. Polish people, fair game.
Like people's different countries in the world have different systems. It's very important that you tell people settling. And actually, there's been a huge feminist movement to try and inform women entering, whether illegally or not illegally. In fact, the vast majority completely legally to our country are given leaflets and materials to tell them about what rights they can expect in our country.
Remember back in, I think it was 2015, 2016, when she appeared on Question Time and she said this about the mass rape and sexual assaults by newcomer migrants in Germany?
There is violence against women and girls that you are describing. A very similar situation to what happened in Cologne could be described on Broad Street in Birmingham every week, where women are baited and heckled.
A very similar situation to what happened in Cologne could be described on Broad Street on a Friday night. I mean, nearly 30 women were raped 30 women were raped, and over 1,000 women reported sexual assaults and harassment and robberies on New Year's Eve in Germany after Angela Merkel invited half of the third world into Germany. But no, it cannot be anything to do with migrants or any other communities. It's just absolutely normal stuff that you would experience in Broad Street on a Friday, Saturday night, on a weekend in Birmingham. You know, well, I don't recall there being 30 rapes in one night in Birmingham in my life, and I'm from Birmingham, so I might know that. But this is Jess Phillips, and here she goes again.
Multi-million-pound scheme for men across the entirety of the country.
Deflecting from the migrants who have been handed out this pamphlet informing them that rape is illegal in this country. Why do they have to be told that rape is illegal in this country? Is there a cultural issue there, Jess? No, Jess don't want to talk about that. Jess don't want to talk about anything to do with anything a little bit awkward to do with any other community. It has to be all men. All men.
It's one thing to sort of inform men across the country to think better about their behaviour and so on. It's something else to hand out a leaflet that literally has to say rape is illegal, sex with children is illegal. You should know, isn't it?
Look, I mean, I have in the document
Jess is not a minister anymore. She's not a member of the Burnham government. She stood down, trying to get rid of Starmer. She got rid of Starmer. And now she's not in the government anymore. She's on the back benches, thank God.
That was to everybody in the country.
Now, if you think Jess is alone in this, trying to deflect attention away from the fact that we're having to tell these boat people that rape's legal, she's not. There's plenty of other Labour people, and the Green Party has released a advert that says the following: violence against women and girls has no nationality. The entirety of the left are so ideologically hateful towards the native British people that they just can't bear to face the facts.